Morning Touch is brought to you by the Chaplaincy for the Homeless and FSPC in Glendale. You know, sitting here in is pretty interesting. You think about the number of people that are flying these days, and it just comes to your mind and your attention the number of planes that are in the air at any given time, the number of people on those planes, the skills and the physics and the science that it takes to keep those planes flying, the flight patterns that present a big giant math problem for the air traffic controllers who have to direct all of this traffic. One thing I can say is many fly on the premise of trust. They trust the aircraft. They trust the pilots. They trust the mechanics. There's a lot to be trusted. And so when I think about flying, it is definitely something that many of us take for granted. We fly because we trust. It's Freedom Friday, and on Freedom Friday, I always have a thought for you, a thought about life. And this thought today comes from Psalms 125, because Psalms 125 gives us some insight into who we are, what we're made of, where we come from. When I think about Psalms 125, I think about David, who went through so much. But in going through so much, David was able to survive his ordeals because of trust. David trusted God. And in everything, we have to trust God. I'm trying to get the lighting right here, just bear with me. In Psalms 125, it says, "Those who trust in the Lord are like Mount Zion. It cannot be shaken. It remains forever. Jerusalem, the mountains surround her, and the Lord surrounds his people, and now and forever." Trust is like a mountain. It provides protection. It provides security. And when we're looking at trust, let me say that there's nothing like trusting in God. David makes it clear, a clear statement about trust, when he says that this trust is a powerful trust that lasts now and forever. It says the scepter of the wicked will not remain over the land allotted to the righteous, so that the righteous will not apply their hand to injustice. Do what is good, Lord, to the good, to those whose hearts are upright. But as for those who turn aside to the crooked ways, the Lord will banish them with the evildoers. Now, of course, David was relating to Israel, but I want us to think about the value of trusting in God. There is no substitute for faith. Without faith, it's impossible to please God, for one that cometh to God must believe that he is, and that he's a rewarder of them that diligently seek him. That's Hebrews 11:6. In every instance, in every survival moment, faith was at the center of that survival. With Moses, with Noah, with Joshua, with Elijah, with the 4 Hebrew children. with Daniel, with David, Jeremiah, Isaiah. All of the prophets had this one common thread. The common thread of faith and trust. Many of us, like I said, when we fly, when we drive, we trust in the mechanics of the vehicles we're driving or the airplanes we're flying in. We trust the talent of the air traffic controllers. We trust the mechanics of the airline and the pilots and their abilities to fly the plane. There's a lot of trust. But in the face of that, many of us don't know how to trust God. It's kind of ironic, I think. The fact that we could put our hands in the hands of man and his mechanics and his knowledge, we can trust our lives with that. But yet we're unwilling to trust an all-seeing, all-knowing, all-powerful God. Think on that for a moment. We can trust what we see. We can believe in what was done to the car, to the plane. And by faith, we get on. By faith, we fly. By faith, we drive. By faith, we move to the next destination, point to point. But yet, when it comes to God, we stop short of that kind of faith. We stop short of that kind of trust. What would the world be like if we truly trusted God in the way that we trust our cars to take us from point A to point B? Or trust planes to carry us across the skies? Hundreds of planes traveling in many different directions, heading to many different cities. An air filled with jets and helicopters and military planes flying all at once. We trust that. And we trust that as we fly, we're being watched and cared for. We go from point A to point B without incident. You know, we need to take a look at where that blessing comes from. Psalms 125 instills in us the need and the value of faith and trusting in God. If you can trust all of the man-made items that transport you from one destination to the next, think about all that God does for you 1 minute to the next, 1 hour to the next, 1 day to the next, 1 month to the next. Think about all of the good things and the provisions that God provides for you. Whether you acknowledge Him or not, He still loves you. He still cares for you. He still watches over you. But we put our trust in things and material things. We put our faith in man-made knowledge and skills and science, when we don't realize what's truly behind the skills and the science. It's God. Those who trust in the Lord are like Mount Zion. It cannot be shaken. It remains forever. So, as the Morning Touch is brought to you by the Chaplain for the Homeless and the FSBC in Glendale, I want you to think this Freedom Friday on developing some powerful trust. And I want you to focus on developing strong faith. Faith comes by hearing, and hearing by the Word of God, Romans 10:17. As we present the Word of God to you this morning, those who trust in the Lord, Psalms 125:1, are like Mount Zion. It cannot be shaken. It remains forever. Do what is good. Focus on what is right. Be a positive example to others. Trust in the Lord with all of your might. and be as strong as Mount Zion, being as powerful and majestic and firm and secure and unshaken as Mount Zion forever. I don't know about you, but today and every day that the Lord gives to me, I trust Him. I trust Him with everything, all things, all the time. And my friends, I want to encourage you. Take a look at your life. Do a self-examination. Be honest with yourself and see, who really do I need to trust? Who really do I need to cast my lot with? I think if you're honest with yourself on this Freedom Friday, you'll see Jesus is the way, the truth, and the life. No man comes to the Father except by Him. And I want you to understand the way, the truth, and the life. He is that guide that keeps you walking in the light, that protects you and that cares for you. That's why I want to encourage you today, this Freedom Friday, going into your weekend, trust in the Lord and be like Mount Zion. No matter what life throws at you, you cannot be shaken. Whether spiritual hurricane or tornado or thunderstorm, whether you're struck by spiritual lightning, you will survive and you will stand. Put your trust and your faith in the Lord and be like Mount Zion. Go today, live in peace, know that God is with you. Don't trust in man or the skills of man. Know that behind the curtain, God is there, and He's the one that makes it all happen. God bless you, God keep you, and we'll see you again next time on The Morning Touch. Go make it a great day.